Greetings, Brex Splash here with another vague comic review, and this is with Arian the Immortal, issue number 6. Now, this one is a real twister of a comic. So, Arian arrives in the Dark World to save Amanda from, the Dark World, which we learn is sort of another dimension, but it's also a sentient being. And this dark world is so powerful that when it sleeps, it dreams of, things that come to life, such as Atlantean magic and Atlantis itself. Now, from what I can gather here, and Arian is also figuring this out himself because they explained it to him, the Dark World wanted Arian there because it believes he will try to stop it. How? Well, the Dark World is going to go back to sleep. It was awake for 50,000 years, and while it was awake, magic was gone. At least Atlantean magic. That's why Arian and everyone else couldn't use it anymore. And now that it's going back to sleep, it knows that Arian will try to stop it now. And Arian is just telling them, he kind of admits that, yeah, that's the case. Originally, he just wanted to save Amanda. And Garn is not a very good brother. He's basically making fun of Arian, saying that Arian, at the time, was the most powerful sorcerer of the entire planet. He could do anything he wanted. He was literally a king of his people. And now that he lost his magic, he's content just to live as an old man with no magic. And Arian admits, yeah, that's the case. He was fine just living without magic, because even though he was a master of the spells, Arian personally thought magic, at least Atlantean magic, was just too much trouble. I'm assuming that, also because the Dark World is slowly falling asleep, it's sort of reversing, but it's sort of changing the entire planet. People are turning into primates, and there's chaos everywhere. So my theory, from what I can gather here, is when the Dark World fully falls asleep, the entire planet will sort of go back to the way it was when the Dark World originally slept. Atlantis will come back again. All the Atlanteans will have their magic. And, yeah. So, Arian, so while this has happened, there was also a separate scene where Power Girl arrives in Kaon's deli, where Kaon and the other two immortals are waiting for Arian to defeat the Dark World. Now, Power Girl, she's here because she's the granddaughter of Arian. It turns out, in this version, Power Girl is also an Atlantean, and her grandfather sent her into the future to protect her. Why he never visited her? Because she even wants to know why. And the other immortals, they have no idea. Deidre tells Power Girl that Arian knew or knows who Power Girl is, and that he mentioned that's his granddaughter, but why he never bothered to visit her, who knows. But anyway, Power Girl, she wants to stop this threat, and the other two tell her that, she really can't do anything. Arian and the Dark World isn't another dimension entirely. They just have to wait till they're done. And what shows up but a giant chain from the ceiling. And this is when we learn that in order for the Atlantean magic to fully intersperse with the planet Earth, it needs literally a tether, which is the chain itself. And Deidre, the old woman, is looking at the chain and remembers that was her job. I think she says she was the one that made sure the chain was good, or made sure the chain was literally chained to the earth. I guess to make sure nothing bad happened to it. And that's what keeps Atlantean magic on Earth. Well, now she and the others are going to try to break that chain. And while they're doing that, Power Girl flies upwards and follows the chain's path to help her grandfather. So the Dark World created the chain, and now that the tether is complete, it's going to fall asleep. And it wants to make sure that Garn, I guess, kills Arian at the right moment. But Arian doesn't give him that chance. He breaks out of his prison that Weaver had made And while he's fighting, Power Girl shows up. And how does she show up so fast? Well, Beedra, Gem, and Kaon are exhausted. They're using axes to try to break the chain. Nothing worked. So Kaon said, enough of this. He made a giant pair of scissors appear, and it just cut the chain. And when the chain cut, it's like, when you roll, what is it, those, I am blanking out right now. Like when we roll out a measuring tape and we let go, it slides back into the base. That's sort of what's happening. The chain's sliding back to the Dark World, and Power Girl grabbed the end and just sort of hitched the ride. That's how she arrived so quickly. And Garn tried to hold her hostage and threatened Power Girl's life if Arian didn't back down. And Arian just said bluntly, yeah, I would willingly sacrifice one life to save an entire planet. And Power Girl was not happy to hear that. But it was the opening she needed to beat on Garn and throw him at the Dark World. And this is pretty interesting. So after Power Girl threw Garn at the Dark World itself, Arian used every bit of magic he had to combine them. So he fused Garn and the Dark World into one. Now Power Girl brings up a good point. Isn't combining them going to make them twice as strong? And Arian said that's not why he did it. Most likely they are, but he combined Garn with the Dark World just when he was about to fall asleep. Now, I'm assuming because one's a sentient cosmic being and the other is a magical Atlantean, or maybe it's the way Arian fused them, but it's a painful process. So basically the Dark World is between wakefulness and sleepiness, and it's in eternal pain while Garn is just screaming and screaming, and he won't stop screaming. He's literally in eternal torment. So that means the Dark World, because it's fused with Garn, can never fall asleep. And because once it falls asleep, it can't fully awake either. So it's just stuck, which was pretty clever. That was really clever on Arian's part. And so with that out of the way, they teleport back to Kaon's Deli. And, well, this is sort of like the breather. Power Girl's asking Arian why didn't he ever visit her. And he tells her that it's because he tried to escape everything from his past, and she reminded him of his past. And then he transforms back to an old man to show her that this is who he is. A bit of a weak explanation because, well, his entire group of friends are from the past as well. But I'll take it as it is. And the comic ends there. Yeah. And my notes in the end, the ending was abrupt, but the creator did say it was only a 6-issue run, so I can see why. And when it comes to giant magic battles, they can usually be resolved in just a single page because magic. The dog, Mira, yeah, I remember that she disappeared around issue 2. She was suddenly in Aristotle's room, where, oh, by the way, I forgot to mention, Amanda was stuck on the Dark World itself, and because she just kept asking if she could leave, and Garn, he was getting annoyed with Amanda, so he just teleported her back to Aristotle's room. He even told Arian, when Arian was angry, he said, "What did you do to her?" And Garn just told him the truth. I teleported her back. She was getting annoying. And yeah, the last thing we saw was Amanda just finding Mara there and telling her what a weird day she had. I think that scene was there just to show us what happened to the dog, because the dog disappeared around issue 2 when Arian had went to go speak to Garn in Ishintani, I believe. But back to the main plot. It was okay. I really thought Arian's explanation for why he never met Power Girl or bothered to visit her was kind of weak, but it is what it is, apparently. And Weaver, who was working for the bad guy, well, he's back in his old body and told Arian, "No hard feelings, huh? I just had to follow my boss's orders," so that kind of made me laugh. Yeah, that was a kind of a mouthful. But yeah, so everything is pretty much back to normal. Arian does, as far as I could tell, has no magic anymore. The way he explained it when he defeated the Dark World, magic froze. So either there is magic there, but they just can't access it, or it's not there. Either way, Arian is back to an old man. There's no more magic. Mira is still stuck as a dog. Poor Mira. And yeah, that's the end of the 6-issue run of Arian the Immortal comic. Were there any cons? Well, I thought there was too much talking sometimes here and there. Felt like a waste. But in the end, I had fun reading it. I liked it. Arian's, to me, is still Doctor Strange with Namor's hairstyle, but they never explained why Arian looks so different now. Because they had a flashback where he looked like his original he looked like the original Arian in the past, flashback, but then in this current one, his hairstyle's different, his clothes are different, even his face is different. I don't know, maybe it's just a style choice he chose. But yeah. But thank you for listening. Let me know what you think of the comic if you read it. If you're not, well, I advise checking it out if you don't mind weird magic and